This is the Night Owls Disc Golf Podcast. I'm Shane.
And I'm JP.
Ooh, that was good. I like how you match the motion.
Yeah.
The emotion, not
Yep.
the motion. Yeah. So, well, back at another one.
Another week.
A week in a row. Like we did it. We didn't skip a week.
No, yeah.
That's pretty good.
That's
Proud
pretty
of us.
good.
High fives.
Yeah.
I just high fived myself. So
That's what gingers do when they don't have friends.
they high five themselves.
Yeah.
I like that. Gingers do. Friends. Do gingers have friends?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. I have a really good friend that's a ginger. And every chance I get, I throw some sort of soulless joke at him.
Yeah.
And he's not entertained by him.
Oh.
Everybody else is usually, but he's not.
Oh, shoot. I heard like a really good dad joke. Oh, just the other.
Do you remember it?
No. Do you?
No.
No. What was the thing that we were like last week we saw? It was some quote. And we're like, oh, we have to remember that for next week.
Oh, yeah.
It was good. We should have wrote it down. Dang it.
We spoke about it after. It was right after the podcast.
It was right after. And we're like, oh man, we need to remember this.
It was a pretty good one. It was more funny than anything, right? Or no? Or was it like actually really good?
It was both like kind of profound but funny at the same time.
Ain't gonna remember it.
Because we saw it on a video, didn't we?
Yes. Yeah, I'm not gonna remember it.
Yeah. Bummer.
Maybe it'll pop into our heads.
Maybe it will.
If you just randomly hear a quote, that's what's it going to be. So, door_disc_golf, and then night_owls_pod, and then doordisc.com, where you can get all your disc golf needs and the buzzes, the
Yep.
buzz saws. So, we brought in quite a few, almost 200 of them. More than half of them were gone already.
I ordered 2.
Yeah. Did you get them already?
They should be here tomorrow.
Oh, sweet.
I was like, Matt texted me. I was like, I could probably just drive down there to get.
You haven't been to the shop yet, have
I
you?
have not been to the shop yet. That would be a good reason to go.
It would be.
Yeah.
And then you could get the pick of the litter. Well, no, not really.
I mean, he
'cause
did.
it was
He's
already
like,
half out.
he just asked me. He's like, "What do you want?" I was like, "Nothing too dark." But then I saw this really cool one that was like had like a black rim and with like a magenta or like a darker purplish buzzsaw. I was like, "Oh no!" Well,
That'd be sick.
So I think I'm getting a pink and an orange one.
Okay.
Yeah, I was kind of curious. So they're called. It's the fused buzzsaw
Fused, yep.
buzz. So I was just kind of looking at them, just from what I could tell from pictures, not having them in hand or anything. Mm-hmm. Is it kind of like tone? Is it like tone plastic?
It is very, very much like Tone.
Okay.
And that was the big deal. I don't know if you remember when Tone came out, Discraft kind of like, hey, we did that like 10 years ago.
Oh, yeah. Right, kind of.
Yeah. So that was, the buzzsaw was there like, we're pushing this out to show you that we can do it already.
Right.
And that's why the first ones came out, and now they put them into production.
Yeah.
And they are fan-diddly-tastic. Like, they're really, really good discs. So they're slightly more overstable.
Okay.
They're not quite OS stable, but they're just a nice, stable buzz.
Ooh.
So
Cool.
I would assume that once they break in, they'll be probably just slightly understable or slightly more understable than a brand new off-the-shelf buzz.
Okay.
So, and the plastic's awesome. And it won't have kind of like the double steadies. They won't have that issue with separating because it's actually like they're molded together in the disc. So it's not like it's, there's no like goofy parting lines like the double steadies had. So I don't know. I mean, they seem pretty good to me and I'm not hearing anything negative about them yet.
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
yeah. Well, we probably still have like 60 of them left, I would say. Maybe 60 to 80, somewhere around in there.
Okay.
I will probably go down sometime this week. Well, I got to go down sometime this week anyways, but I'll go down sometime this week and I'll pick out whatever's left. Like, I'm not real worried about the colors at this point.
Yeah.
But I kind of wish I was there for the unboxing because I would have stole a couple. Because I'm a fan of foils in Discraft.
Yeah.
Their colors, like, yeah, I mean, I like different colors, but for the most part, I don't care.
Right.
But foils, I'm a big fan of foils. Like, I like Wonder Bread. I like dollars for some reason.
Okay.
But I'm a huge fan of, like, USA, like the flags, like red, white, and blue. So, but yeah, so there you go on doordisc.com. We got all those things and they're listed. Everyone has his own picture, his own listing now. So there is a pre-order up for some of the new MVP drops that are coming out. Got those going on. So, man, there's going to be a lot coming up. Tempos are coming up. And then, I don't know, there's a couple other things, but I know there's some pre-releases. The range is coming out. And then we are signed up to be a Climo dealer.
Oh, wow.
So
cool.
as soon as they get their act together, which basically they're running this first drop of the first runs, they're going to run. They're not releasing them to retailers.
Okay.
There might be a few retailers that have them, but for the most part, I don't think there's any retailers have them. I think they're doing them directly through Climo. And then once they get that figured out, the next drop, they'll have retailers. So hopefully we'll be in that first wave of retailers.
And I did just see that the discs were just PDG approved. Yep.
Just 2 days ago or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, we got an email. Maybe it was yesterday we got the email or the day before. It would have been Friday.
I think that's right.
And Dana Vici is
Yeah.
Climo. We forgot to mention that.
Yes.
So he left Prodigy. Discmania. And then now he is officially Climo Disc Golf. He's a sales manager or some big wig.
Yep.
Yeah, he does all that stuff. He's the guy.
That's pretty cool because he's like, well, don't worry, I'll be like back in disc golf doing whatever, and
he sure was.
Yeah,
he sure was. So
big time.
Glad to see him. And then I think outside of that, check out the YouTube channel. We'll be dropping this on the YouTube channel as well, and this will just be audio only. And like I said, one of these days we'll get our act together. We'll get video. You'll see our handsome mugs. And I think we'll move on from there. So we'll tell you quickly. We've got some stuff. We're going to talk some signings, some ownership deals. We're going to talk about some sponsorships. And then I think outside of that, we'll talk maybe some Disc Golf Expo.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah, a little vague.
Yeah.
But we got about 6 or 8 things to talk about. So I'm sure we'll be around that hour mark again. And we'll get started with Prodigy.
Yeah.
Is that how you say it?
Prodigy.
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 So Prodigy makes some signings. Rathbun is one of them.
Good signing.
Yeah, good signing.
I think it's a good, he last year was open bag and he was coming off the deal with previous year with DD. Mm-hmm. And they both agreed to part ways and everything.
DD took a big risk because he was straight out of a shoulder surgery.
Yep, absolutely. And he did okay with them. Not spectacular, not bad, but last year really proved himself with his open bag, which I'm surprised that if he did so well with an open bag, why wouldn't you, I think, cool that you played yourself into a contract, with a manufacturer, but if you're able to strike up a deal with Infinite or somebody and keep that open bag with all the discs that you like and everything, I would have tried to do that.
I think we call it dollar bills, y'all.
Well, right. It is true.
I mean, that's really
absolutely,
what it is.
It is.
But, it's a comfort in traveling.
Yeah. I know. So that's the kind of thing. I was like, well, yeah, that's probably got to be pretty worth it, Mm-hmm. So,
yeah.
That's decent.
And, is there a sense that you have to be sponsored to be legitimate, you think, within the pros? Is that a possibility?
Perhaps. Mm-hmm. I think so.
And is Infinite a legitimate sponsor?
A legitimate sponsor?
Yeah. Well, in the eyes of, pro disc golfers. Or is that a second-tier sponsor?
It's tough, because Infinite has their own discs, right?
Uh-huh.
Like Innova made.
Sure.
They have a number of their molds that are made for them.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they almost have a full lineup at this point. Yeah,
they do. And, we see some people that are Infinite sponsored that were with Thought Space or, Trash Panda, all these other companies. So you're having a percentage of your bag go that way. It's tough because, it's not, I wouldn't consider it A tier. It's just below.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So.
Sure. Yeah.
But it's still a good sponsor. I mean, they have.
It's a great sponsor.
A number of good players under them.
Uh-huh. And I think, honestly, that's probably the direction that if people are smart, they'll start going. These big shop routes where they have access to much more than just one line of discs.
Yeah.
Well, not if they're smart. I just think that's the trend that it's going to start going. No, I don't think. I hope. How about that?
Okay. I hope.
I don't have any inkling of why it would or would not, but I feel like it would be a good idea because we've talked about it a lot, having a putter sponsor, having a driver sponsor, having a...
You know what? Okay, so that conversation, Brody had Bob Giulio on Tour Life, and they were kind of talking with him
That's
about...
Discraft.
Yep, Discraft guy. And they were talking about him, and Brody brought that up. Like, if Bob saw a future where somebody would have it was funny because, like, we had talked about it, and then all of a sudden they, like, talked about it with him, and I was like, that's odd.
They're fans of the podcast.
Yeah, right.
They need material. What are those Night Owls guys talking about?
I'm sure they really check us out. But no, they asked him that question. Like, in the future, could you see somebody be like, oh, I just really like their putters or drivers? And I forgot what he said. It's like possibility, but like in reality, you just want a pro to throw everything you have. Like, why would you want to sponsor somebody if you're going to only sponsor a portion of their bag? You know?
Yeah, and for people like Discraft. So Discraft, out of all the discs they make, I would say they are probably have the best lineup of mids.
Yeah.
I think that's
Sure.
hard to argue. I think it's arguable, but it's hard to argue.
I think when you have one of the greatest mid ranges of all time, it's hard to argue that you don't have it. And there's the Soul, and there's the Meteor and the Comet.
And the Comet, yeah.
I mean,
don't forget about the Comet.
Don't forget about the Comet.
Keep the Comet in there.
But I can't say, like, I've never thrown a nuke.
I have, but
I've never bagged a nuke.
Yeah.
That's what I'll say. I've never really bagged
Neither have
a
I.
distance driver from Discraft. The only driver I think I ever really threw of theirs was either like an Undertaker bagged or a Heat.
Yep.
Otherwise, I have no reason. And then the only other disc I have bagged is a Zone.
Yeah.
And that's not coming out, I don't think.
No. And see, for me, I kind of throw the Zone into the mid classification. I know it's an approach, it's a putter. But I kind of throw it into that utility approach, like mid-range game. But the only other disc that I say is, like, probably one of the most underrated discs there are is the Undertaker. As far as a fairway driver goes, it is a wonderful disc. Like, it is a T-Bird 3. Like, it is really, really good.
Yeah.
But I think it's even more forgiving than a T-Bird 3, if that makes any sense.
I think it's a little less stable.
It is less stable than a T-Bird 3. So it's not quite as understable as a T-Bird, but it's still, like I said, more forgiving in that regard, especially for a new arm. Like a T-Bird, it's not going to have the stability for big arms. The T-Bird 3 has the stability for the big arms, but it doesn't have the understability for the slower arms.
Yeah.
That T-Bird is just right in that magic line, I think.
It is.
It's kind of escapey.
Yeah.
I mean, excuse me, the Undertaker.
It's
kind of escapey.
Yeah.
It's like in that realm. I hate to admit it, but the Lariat is like by far one of the best. It is my preferred fairway driver, and even over the FD now. Like,
oh wow,
it is wonderful.
Okay.
But I don't really like supporting LSD. Like, I don't like throwing their discs, but I can't get it out of my bag. But the Undertaker would be the one I'd probably go back to.
Okay.
If I did. I still bag FDs. I don't think the FDs will ever come out of my bag, but I don't know. 2 different discs.
Yeah.
But the FD, the new FDs and the Undertakers, pretty darn similar. But the new FDs, I think, are more stable.
Yeah. Oh, for
they're
sure.
They're like the T-Bird 3.
Yeah.
But probably even more stable than that. I haven't thrown a T-Bird 3 in forever.
I haven't either. I mean, it's the new FDs are just straight with like a little more finish than
Yeah. Although the originals, like the original line FDs, is that what they call them now? Classic FDs. Innova FDs. How about that?
Innova FDs.
Innova FDs,
or like Dong Rebel or whatever.
Yeah, the Dong Rebels. Yeah, no, those are amazing discs.
Yeah,
I love those discs. So, the Dong Rebel, I forgot about that. By the way, Disc Golf Podcast, where you at, man? Like, you guys need to come back.
It would be something if they all of a sudden decided to.
It's been like 2 years now.
It has, yeah.
Robin and Joe, right?
Yep, I think it'll be 2 years in March. I think that's the last time they put out their last episode.
Holy moly. And they put out the episode like, we're coming back strong. And then like What happened?
Exactly. Like there's like an update.
Yeah.
That they're like, yeah, well, we have life going on, but we'll be back.
Yeah, we'll be back.
And then it's like, really?
And then crickets.
Yeah.
I wonder if one of them went to jail or something. Like, I don't know.
I got buzzed. I was going over to Robin's house and like
Exactly.
trying to.
Got picked up.
Yeah.
So, all right. So,
Anyway.
what was the other Prodigy side?
Oh,
now that we done.
Sorry, Jake Hebenheimer.
Yeah,
signed
there you
with
go.
Prodigy.
Hebenheimer Schmidt.
Hebenheimer Schmidt. And I forgot. He was with. Wasn't he with DD for a little while?
I don't know.
I forgot if he was.
I was not a Hebenheimer guy. I thought he was Innova. Maybe it was DGA.
I forgot.
He wasn't Prodigy. I know that. But
Oh, you want to know who's speaking of Infinite Discs? Aiden Scott, who used to be with Prodigy, signed with Infinite Discs.
okay.
So there's somebody.
Jake Hebenheimer used to be with MVP. No, he's holding an MVP disc here.
Maybe he's open bag. Was he open bag for a little while?
He might have been. Yeah, I see him holding a hex.
Okay.
No, he had to be
Lone Star.
Lone Star. Yeah, I always feel like he was Lone Star.
Okay. I thought he was somebody before Lone Star.
When he had his horseshoe putt, he was with somebody else.
Yeah, that's what I
I
thought.
feel like he was.
Or maybe I'm just thinking that because he was playing well at DDO. That's why I was like,
Yeah.
DD. Yeah.
He
That
might
could
have
be.
been. So there you go. So Hebenheimer and Rathbun. So those are okay signings. They're kind of run of the mill signings. Nothing to get crazy about.
Not breaking the bank.
No, definitely not. And I don't think they're moving the needle, either one of them.
Well, Gavin's like top 15.
Yeah.
Last year he was good.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
he has like real good upside potential.
Oh, for sure.
For sure.
And he hasn't hit his ceiling. I don't think
think so.
So I think there's definitely room to grow. So I think he's one of those like up and comers that, Will said that he likes to try to grab. He doesn't want to pay money for somebody. He likes to pick up these guys that are kind of undervalued, and then he helps trade. Well, that's what he wants to do. Anyways,
Right.
So so there you go. And then Silva Saarinen extends with MVP. How long was that extension for?
4 years.
4 years?
Yeah.
That's like unheard of nowadays to go that long,
Almost.
except for like big names.
Right.
Wow.
Well,
4 years.
Look what she did last year. I mean, she had a run of runs.
Oh, sure.
You know, what was it? 5 in a row? Mm-hmm. 5 wins in a row. I mean, in Europe. I mean,
Yeah.
and that was,
they're wins.
it was win. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah. Win's a win.
keep her. She's young. Get your name, with the company any way you can over there. So
Yep.
that's huge.
Yeah. Man,
And-
that's crazy. Well, that's good.
I didn't see anything numbers wise about that.
What she's getting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just unreal.
Yeah. All right. And then another re-sign was Casey White.
Yeah.
Extends with Discmania.
2 years. Mm-hmm. I forgot to mention that last week, but I like that Casey stayed. He didn't like. I knew his contract was up. He wasn't making a big deal of it. He didn't say anything about it on social media. He's kind of been working. He's put out vlogs of him playing and making. He sold his old van.
Yeah.
He's building a new van, and then they put out a short little video of him. Discmania did. Announcing that he's returning. He's kind of the. Gannon's the face of Discmania, right? For now, but. Between Casey and Kyle, they've kind of been there the longest. Casey signed in 2020.
Yep.
Or late 2019.
I thought it was 19. Yeah, because he
Yeah.
was at the farm. What's his face's farm? Avery's farm.
Yeah, and that's when he and Simon went down there and Avery gave him the contract and everything. So yeah, that could have been late 2019 into 2020. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think, Casey is one of those guys. Maybe this is going too far to say this, but he's kind of like the Sexton, where he's just there. He's just a consistent. He's always in the background. He's always doing pretty well. He's always supporting the team. He's always
Yeah.
just Mr. Stability. Now he doesn't have a Firebird, but
No. Skywalker.
Yeah, he's a Skywalker, which is a great
people
disc.
like it.
Yeah,
people really like it. And he came really close to winning a major this past year. Like he was in the lead at Champions Cup, kind of, fell apart a little bit, and but he was in there.
Yeah,
lead card.
He's getting there, and he's still pretty darn young.
Yeah,
I mean, he's still pretty darn young.
He is.
Like 2016 or 17 was the year that we played with him at in Vegas.
Okay.
And he was really good then. And I think he was 16.
Yeah, that
or
could
he was
be
17. So, what is he, 26 or 27 now?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
So he's not that old at this point. I mean, he might even be younger than that. But yeah, it's I'm excited to see where he's going to go if he continues to climb. I'm excited to see it. And with Discmania, 2 more years, I think it's the right company for him. He made it very apparent he'll never go back to DD.
Yes,
very apparent that he'll never go back to DD. So yeah, I'm excited about it. I'm excited to see where he goes and what he can do, and hopefully he gets another disc.
Yeah, hopefully. It'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Other Discmania news, Ella Hansen also got promoted to Sky Team, which is their upper...
That's their high team.
High team, yeah.
And that's where Casey is, the Sky Team? Or is he not?
I don't think... Let's just look on Discmania's page real quick.
Okay.
I don't think he is. Like, I think it's...
Really?
Before Eagle and Simon left, Kyle Klein got promoted to Sky Team. So it was Eagle, Kyle...
Okay.
And Simon. And then now that, and I'm pretty sure when Gannon signed, he was put on Sky Team.
I would hope so.
Yeah. Let's just take a look. Oh, and then Nicholas onto the team. Okay, so Sky Team currently is, Nicholas, Gannon, Kyle, and then Ella.
Okay.
And then Signature Team is Alden, Casey, Colton Montgomery, and Gavin Babcock. And then just under that, Shield Team, Avery, Cynthia Ricciardi, Silas Schultz, and Tumas
Got it.
Heitenen. Yep.
So, Colton Montgomery.
Yeah.
Is that all we need to say?
What about...
What does he do for the team? I'm just surprised. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't follow him. I don't do the social media thing anymore. But
right.
What do we What does he do?
I mean, he's put out some pretty good discs with Discmania. I'm not gonna lie.
Put discs out, with his name, the Nordic Phenom and stuff like that, right?
Well, the Nordic Phenom was Nicholas, but Lone Howl.
Lone Howl, that's right.
Right,
okay.
and then he had the Zeta Moon, which was the CD1, the swirly CD1 signature.
Okay.
He did have that signature Waco win, but it happened asterisks in a shortened rounds because they had to shut it down because of COVID.
Oh, was that the Rona rounds?
Yeah, I think.
I thought that was Coling that got that one.
That was
No, that was the Thunderstorm or something, or the tornado or something. Okay,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah, and so I mean, he got that win. He's promoting stuff on social media here and there. It's mostly Kona promoting stuff on social media, but he's out there. He's been with Discmania for a long time. His brother works for Discmania as well.
Oh, okay.
So I don't. He's okay. I feel like he's kind of dropped off a little bit.
Sure.
Competition wise, the past couple of years.
And this isn't I'm not insulting him.
No.
Seems like a pretty cool dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's always just a staple at Discmania.
Right.
And I've never quite understood it because he's not a performer. And he doesn't make social media wise. I don't ever remember him being anything.
I don't know. Yeah. He's just there.
Yeah.
He's just the guy that's.
Yeah. He's
that's there.
He's someone you can't really find a reason to let him go, but you can't find a reason to keep him, So you just kind of all right, one more year. So anyways, I don't know why we're talking about him.
He came up because we were talking.
There.
Hold on a second. I just want to take a look and see something.
Because maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm out of touch with him.
He's played 280 career events. He has 13 wins. career earnings of just over 70,000. Last year,
280 events and only 13 wins.
yeah. Let's see. So
Wow.
DGPT numbers, not great. It looks like his. Well, I mean, he's got. It's like his starts are 64, 52, 78, 61, 106, 68, and then it's, then he's got 13th at OTB, 14th at a Q Series, 16th at Portland, 50th at Beaver State, and then 93rd at Preserve. It's just the smattering of like really low and then like kind of bouncing up here and there.
He's like a Brody Smith.
Yeah.
Except with no social media.
He cashed at, he cashed at a couple of events, right? But like nothing crazy. Like his best finish was 2 top 15s.
Yeah.
Or 3 top 15s if you count the Q series, like in DGPT events. Then he's got, a couple A tiers that he played here and there that he got top 10s, but nothing extraordinary or like noteworthy.
Okay.
Really.
Then I wasn't really far off base by saying that. But if he promotes discs, sells discs, he does. Maybe there's where his value is.
They're popular. Like Lone Howell is like one of the best runs of PD that was ever made.
Yep.
And it's got his name on it. So I'm going to give him some credit for that for sure.
Man. Well, it's like the Night Strikes. Why are they ever going to bring the Night Strikes back?
Never. Because Nate Perkins isn't there anymore,
Yeah, but
God, there's a guy that I haven't heard of a lot. Like,
I know.
Like he's doing some commentary and things, and like he signed with Clash, right? Is that what I remember? He signed with Clash.
Yep.
Gosh, Colton Montgomery. Holy cow! Let's see. I thought it was 2022. No.
What was that you talking about when he signed?
No, when he won Waco. Yeah, it was all the way back in 2020.
Yeah.
Crazy. And he had much better finishes that year, but in a shortened year.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Wild.
Well, he's there. Obviously, there's a reason. They see value. So, who am I to question that? Hold up. What am I joking? That's what I do. All right. So, we'll just do a quick one. Ronsley.
Oh, yeah.
Not going to tour this year.
Not going to tour.
And did she give specific reasons?
She did. She just kind of said that...
disc golf sucks.
Not in those terms. But she got burnt out from touring.
Okay.
Like towards the end of the season last year, she wasn't really happy with how she was finishing, where her head was at. And so she decided that she found another job, like a regular job.
Okay.
And that she's just happy doing it now.
Okay.
I guess.
Okay.
And
just a different time in her life.
Yep.
All right.
Let's see,
Stacy Ronsley. Well, that's too bad because she was good to watch. She was fun to watch. She was a good player.
She was. She came on the tour like, when was it? 2000. She was with Innova and that for a couple of years, and then she signed with.
I think she was pretty early though. She was like a 19 golfer, wasn't it? 18, 19 when she
somewhere around
first
there.
signed. Yeah.
Yeah. So she said won't be playing. Just step away from the tour this year. She'll play a handful of DGPT regional events, but mostly focusing on local tournaments.
Yeah.
And she says she's excited to fall back in love with disc golf again. I'm excited to be home and surrounded by family and friends. I'm excited to have a flushing toilet and shower within 30-step radius. And that touring has left so many little and some big wounds that I need to heal after a few months at home and working a normal job. I already feel my spirit lifting. I feel like joyful. I feel joyful, positive, and vibrant self again. So, yeah.
All right. Well, some people just need that stability.
Right.
And that's completely fine.
Yeah.
It sucks to see her leave the tour, but, positive side, it opens up something for someone else. You know, I mean,
Exactly.
Sucks to see her go, but maybe we'll see someone else shine.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
I think she's made the Pro Tour final the past couple of years, as I remember. I mean, she was kind of gaining traction. Like, she'd like build up, and then she'd have, a couple step backs, and then kind of build herself back up again, and then take a couple step backs. So, yeah, hopefully she, like, will play those, regional DGPT events and be like, this is why I love disc golf.
Right. Yeah.
Competing or whatever it is, and being closer to home. If she's just playing those regional things, she probably would be like, yeah, okay, like,
Yeah.
I can do that.
Yep.
You know, no shame in the game.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Hopefully, she just doesn't end up like. Why do I always forget her name?
Heather
Prodigy. Heather Young.
Heather Young.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk Disc Golf Expo. So it is going on right now. Or no, it just finished.
It was just finished. Yeah,
Just
it was
finished.
this weekend.
Yep.
And Ben Kenny from Staggered Stance, he's the guy that puts it on.
Yep.
And so it's out in Boston. They're going to have another one in
Tejas.
Texas, in the beginning of March.
Yep.
So I don't know if that's like coinciding with any of the tour stops. I would think so.
I
don't
not
remember
sure.
what the deal is. But a lot of big names: Paul, Yuli, AB, Climo,
Yep.
Gannon. So they had a lot of people there, a lot of vendors, a lot of the big companies were there, with like special release discs and
Yep.
all that. And so, I mean, it looks like a lot of fun and a big deal.
Yep. And they have kind of the side things where people are doing like course design stuff. They're doing things like that, like
Right.
what do they call it? Breakouts or
A
keynotes.
lot of they have like a lot of panels where people are
Yeah.
like sitting in there. They had one, like you said, about course design and everything. There's one with I think social media or content creators. They had a Northeast women's disc golf talking about growing the women's game in the area and like reaching out more in the community. So there's a lot going on there to help promote the game.
Yeah.
I mean, Southeast, come to the Midwest or
Right.
work with somebody to get one in the Midwest or another region.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's busy, like you have to have them early enough
Sure.
where, if you wanted to get pros there, it's like, okay, we have to have that on a off weekend or something like
Yeah.
during the season. Like people would have
It
to.
has to be January to December to what? Maybe mid-February. That's
Yeah.
about all the time you're going to
Yeah,
get.
exactly.
Yeah. And in reality, how many people want to actually come out and do that type of stuff as far as pros go? But hey, there's a dollar sign behind it. I mean, it makes sense. It's kind of
if you're,
easy.
meet and greets, you're promoting new stuff. Like there's a lot of new, special edition discs coming out at these things that are probably worth going for those.
Oh, sure.
Right?
Yep,
like,
absolutely.
or seeing new products that are being developed and being pushed out, and you're one of the first people to be able to get your hands on them and stuff like that. So
Yeah. Well, and these
cool.
expo centers are big dollars to secure and all that stuff. So,
Right.
I mean, but that's what his dad does, and then.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So that's what his dad's. They're like, they run expos. So he's been doing it with his family for a while. So
Got
he kind
it.
of has the background in it, which is great. I mean, that's the type of people in disc golf that we need, because I think, doesn't he own like a fishing shop or something, like a bait store or something like that?
Oh, maybe. Interesting.
Pretty sure. Yeah. I know it's like all these little things in the background that is pretty cool. So yeah, but they do some really cool stuff, and I'm glad he's doing it because I think it's something that is needed in disc golf. And I know a local guy around as well, Ben.
Yeah.
He wanted to do one for so very long, and I don't know if he'll ever will or won't, but
Yeah.
I mean, there's such great ideas. Like
Yeah.
such a good idea.
Well, and the cool thing about this is, do you remember a couple of years ago, right before Vegas, there was the plan to have Infinite Discs
Infinite,
wanted
yep.
to put on the big shebang in Vegas, and that fell through, and they couldn't secure it and everything.
Yeah.
So this
Well,
is
it's
kind
the
of
2020 thing.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So this has replaced it. So
It has.
that's cool.
And Infinite hasn't gone back to it either. They haven't even
Right.
tried to do it again.
Yeah.
And Vegas has kind of disappeared off the map anyways as far as the Pro Tour goes.
Yeah.
So they're trying to get back on there, but who knows? It's been 3 years now that they've been in May, and there's still no desire to get back there. So, but with that being said, at the Disc Golf Expo, it looks like you told me that Brixton made an announcement that they have 2 new owners.
Yep.
Two new additional owners.
Two new additional owners. Yeah.
And it sounds like Macbeth and Yuli, the Pauls, are now part owner. So it's Dylan Cease, Paul Macbeth, and Paul Ulibarri. And then
I think there's the
fourth guy.
The fourth, yeah.
Yeah. Sad he's nameless. And the fourth guy.
Well, I just remember, these things rolling off the top of my head.
Yeah. No, and I think that's awesome. Like with Yuli and Macbeth being part of it, I think they will bring a little bit more legitimacy to some of the cards. Not legitimacy. Maybe a little more intrigue to some of the cards, because I think they'll be able to get stuff like jersey cards and stuff like that.
I mean, they have them.
And they have them, but I'm saying like they'll probably be able to get some of those little things a little easier.
Oh, okay.
In one way, shape, or form. You know?
Sure.
Or who knows? Who knows? Maybe they won't. Maybe this is just like, hey, this is a good investment.
That very well could be.
But I don't see it being that way. The only thing that I see is that there sure is now a lot of discraft in that.
Right.
And hopefully Brixton doesn't pull that number, like try to be discraft heavy and really favor discraft. Like the beauty about these cards is it's just everybody and anybody. It's rookies. It's like all kinds of fun stuff.
Absolutely. And it's cool. Like there's autograph cards. There's the the pulls with like you said, the jerseys and the bits of discs and stuff. They're quite expensive.
They're quite expensive.
It's like $100 a box, right?
$89.
Okay.
Yeah, $89 a box, and then it's $9.99. No, $12.99 for one of the pull packs.
Oh wow. Okay.
Something like that. They're not cheap, but they're pretty cool. And we thought when we brought them in, I think we brought 12 boxes in of the $89 ones, and then we brought, I don't know, maybe it was like 2 dozen, maybe 3 dozen pull packs in. Mm-hmm. We should have bought twice as much.
Really?
It's incredible how fast they go.
Dang.
Yeah, I was amazingly surprised. So on this when they released the new season, and we're still getting, like, I get Shopify notifications all the time, like, hey, you got any Brixton's cards left? Like, no, sorry, we don't. But as soon as the new season comes out, we're going to gladly stock up.
That's crazy to me, because as somebody who used to collect baseball cards, I stopped. Dempsey's been getting into, like, anytime he can, he's like, I want to get cards. I'm like, well, they're just going to sit around. That's kind of how they go. I bought a box of the Brixton cards. I opened them and they're just sitting back in the box because I'm like, what am I going to do?
The same one. I got some sitting on the step right there.
So, and it's hard because these cards are extremely niche in the terms of sports cards, in the realm of sports cards or any kind of trading cards, right?
We'll walk into a trading card store and say, hey, how much will you give me for these? And they will go, I'll give you a garbage can. You can put them here.
They have no idea the worth of. I have no idea what some of these cards are worth.
Mike Harrington does.
Oh, okay.
He's kind of a guru when it comes to this because he's been collecting for a long time.
I mean, I have no idea. Is there like a Beckett or like, some kind of magazine or anything that's like, hey, this is what your card is valued. Do you remember getting those back in the day?
Beckett, man.
Right. Like back in the day, it was like, man, okay, let's check out what it is this week or this month, for like whoever's card that just, and it's like, oh, it went up, it went down. I'm like, it's crazy.
Yep. I remember there used to be one where I went through and all of my cards, Beckett priced them.
Yeah.
And then the next month I was like bought the new Beckett and did it again. And I was just like, this is stupid. This is taking forever. But I had everyone highlighted that I had, But, yeah. But no, there isn't. So the only thing you can do is there is a community of Brixton traders.
Yeah.
And what they do is they try to complete sets.
Right.
And the other ones are like the signature cards or what did they call it? But they're customized. They're like 1 of 4, 1 of 6 or whatever, where they'll take them out and they'll sign the card or do a little joke on it or something like that. And I have one from Silas Schultz where he drew like a picture on it and stuff, which is really cool. And those are sought after because there's only so many of them.
Yeah.
But you still got to find the person to buy it. Like I would gladly get rid of it immediately.
Yeah. Yeah.
But who do I sell it to?
Right.
And Mike's like, yeah, it's probably like $125 card. And I'm like, you want to buy it? Like, no. Well, it's not a $125 card.
Right. It's only worth what somebody else is willing to buy it for. Like, Mike's got the complete sets of them or whatever.
Yeah, he's been collecting forever. Yeah. I mean, because he did the PDGA cards, too, for a while, that they had their trading cards out. So I think he has the whole sets of those for the most part. And then he has them like almost signed by almost every pro. Like I know he would send them out and they would send it back.
Okay.
Some he got back, some he didn't. I mean, he told me the story of them, but it seems like a really cool, like for someone like Mike that does that collecting, like it's an awesome idea.
Yeah.
And even for someone that has kids or even someone like me, like I'll probably buy a box a year.
Sure.
Just for funsies.
Yeah.
But, you know, you won't get more than a couple boxes out of me, you know,
right.
Ever, you know, ever. But there are guys, like we had two guys sitting in the shop and they were just going back and forth doing pulls, like
really?
buying. Yeah. Cause all of a sudden I said it, saw it come up. And then I was like, dude, what's going on? And I text Matt. He's like, well, there's two guys in here. And he told me who they were, but they said there's two guys in here just going back and forth, like buying these boxes. We sold like 6 just between those two guys.
Real?
Yeah. Cause they were like, no, we got to get one. And they're like trying to pull the cool cards. So, but there are some really cool stuff. Like it's that, I don't know if it's the FOMO or if it's, what is it? But I was even drawn to do it. Like, and I could care less, like honestly, about these cards. But I was like, no, I got to have one. Like, I got to have one. And I went into the shop 2 or 3 times. And then finally I was like, oh no, I got to buy it. There's only like 4 left. I got to buy one. And I did it, you know, I pulled the trigger on one.
So what year? I don't think it was last year. I think it was the year before. So like 2023, I bought a box. And this was like a pre-order situation, $100 or whatever it was, 120 for like the gold box. And I was like, cool. It'll be out in like 3 months or something. I was like, awesome. Took them a year almost.
Yeah.
Like it was like 9 months to a year to actually get like that first run of cards out. And I was like, okay. I thought about canceling my order. I was like, is this worth it? And I was like, okay, they're finally coming. And,
right. And I'm sure those ones for those collectors are probably a pretty big deal because there wasn't a lot of them out there.
Sure.
You know, but I don't know. I'm just excited to see what is going to be the future of Brixton. Because especially with Macbeth and Yulee behind it, and I'm actually really surprised Brody's not in on it, but I would assume with Cease and Macbeth and there's probably a little bit of a like, I'm not going to do this.
Yeah, especially,
the whole bad blood there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But with Macbeth and Yulee, like, are they just owners in share or are they like operational owners? Are they going to be making decisions?
That's a good question.
I'm curious. Or are they just investors in reality?
I don't know.
So, but that is neat. I'm excited to see it. And I like Brixton, and I'm excited to see the new season to come out because I'll probably buy another box. And just for funsies.
I feel like they have some other stuff. Like, don't they put out like hats or like other kind of merch as well? I'm pretty sure.
I mean, they probably do.
Oh, yeah, they got some hats and hoodies and
yeah, I'm sure they have like merch to
like
support
that.
The company, but for the most part, they're a card brand.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, I kind of last, but maybe the most controversial topic we're going to have tonight. It is the most controversial topic we're going to have tonight.
Bum, bum, bum.
So, Innova takes on a new endeavor by taking over the Emporia State University disc golf team as far as their equipment sponsor.
Right. I mean, I'm sure they've sponsored. They have a hand in like a ton of other sponsors for college.
For sure.
You know, they're big in college disc golf, but
of all colleges.
Right.
Right. Yeah, that is targeted. So for those of you that don't know, Emporia State University is coached by the one and only single-time 2010 world champion Eric McCabe.
Yep.
Who bleeds DD, as he says.
Yes.
Which he is. He's synonymous for DD.
He is.
I mean, we have the EMAC Truth, the EMAC Trespass, the EMAC Judge. So, I mean, EMAC is DD, and DD is EMAC. With that being said, he is still the coach, but now his team flies the banner of Innova.
Yes.
DD has been and always will be, or maybe not always will be, but is currently stationed and headquartered in Emporia.
Mere blocks.
I mean,
from the
literally,
campus.
Quite literally, might be able to throw a disc into the campus.
Right.
You know, like,
Exactly.
it's not that close, but
It's not, but
pretty darn close.
Close enough.
WTF.
Yeah.
Like-
Unreal.
It's that is a kick in the nuts from Innova to DD.
Oh,
Straight up.
absolutely.
Like, and maybe DD is a little bit worse off than we think, than we've even been speculating. Because why would DD step away from sponsoring their local university?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure maybe, I don't know. I like business wise, yeah, you're probably just giving all this equipment away.
That's what I was thinking. It's
That's
like
fine.
you could probably get a tax write off for amount
Sure.
of equipment that like you're giving to the university or whatever. Don't know how many players currently there are on the team or anything.
I don't know.
But I can't imagine the resources you're giving out, probably some kind of jersey, polo, maybe a couple to each,
Yeah.
student.
Hats, bags,
Yeah.
couple discs.
Right. So at least they have something that says, Emporia State, DD or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But we also have to, this isn't probably just DD's decision. This is House of Disc decision.
Oh, for sure.
So
For sure. Yeah.
it's not just DD being like, hey, we can't do this anymore. It's House of Disc being like, we're giving you guys too much. If we could cut back, maybe we can continue on.
Yep.
Maybe not.
Yep.
Because there's a lot of unanswered questions as far as how long was the contract with the university, or is it a year-to-year thing? How much money? There's a lot going on there. But then, so Eric said that this was a team decision, right? To go with Innova. So Eric's part of the team, right? He's the coach.
Is the coach.
So as the coach, are you saying as a DD employee, hey, DD's not going to do this anymore? Or is it the kids going to him and being like, we don't like what they're having to offer. We'd like to go somewhere else.
Sure.
So, I mean, there's, I don't know.
Because where does that offer come in to?
Right.
Was there somebody on the team that reached out to them, or did they reach out to the team, or there's so many questions.
I'm kind of wondering if Innova reached out knowing the news of DD being in trouble and be like, we kind of know you guys, we've known for a while that you guys are sponsored by them.
Yep.
We'd like to offer you something else.
Sure.
Or the
Or
kids are
what
just
can we
kind of
do?
fed up with what the situation was.
Could
And they're
very well be.
Well, we see what's happening with them, so we
Yeah.
don't know what the story is.
And it lends credence to the idea that DD is kind of wrecking the community relationships that we've heard
Yeah,
about.
right.
And let's take DD out of it. Let's say House of Discs.
House of Discs,
Because I don't think
yes.
it's DD. Because you look at Rusco and what he's done in that community. In Rusco is DD. And you look at what they've done. There is no slander, no fault. Well, there's probably fault there. But, I don't think it's Rusco. It's not Rusco.
No, I don't think so either.
It's House of Discs. And, with investors, simply the bottom line is the most important thing. So if those numbers are not lining up the way they should, and the red is not black and the black is not red, one of those deals, depending on what line it is, like they're going to make those numbers line up the way they should line up so the investors get their money back.
Right.
Plain and simple. There's no personalities or relationships that mean more than the bottom line to investors, because that's what investors are there for. I'm giving you this money. I want to see the return. That's it. So with House of Discs, it takes the personal connection and personal brands that have been built over decades. Well, yeah, it's almost 2 decades now, almost, in Emporia, and just poops all over them. So if that's the case, I mean, this says something.
It does.
That Innova comes in to their backyard and says, I'm going to take your dog. Right? I mean, literally, like, I'm just going to take this if you don't mind. Like, I'm going to put my collar on it now. So, yeah, that sucks.
Well, because here's the quote from Eric. This is before he mentioned, this is what he said. He says, I am thrilled to partner with Innova, a company that shares our passion for the game and commitment to excellence. Their support will elevate our team to new heights, and we couldn't be more excited for the opportunities ahead. And then this was from Sarah Nicholson. She's a Innova Collegiate sponsorship. Eric's drive and commitment to the game make him an ideal partner. This collaboration with ESU and Eric serves an excellent pilot program for developing a more robust collegiate support system in the future. So it very well sounds like, I mean, House of Discs is just doesn't have the passion to support
no.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. The optics are not good.
No.
No matter what it looks like, the optics suck.
Yes.
For DD.
Absolutely.
The optics suck for
the
DD.
biggest fumble in your own, like you said, in your own backyard.
Right.
And it's like, or what if they didn't even know? You know, like DD had no idea, and then all of a sudden they got the news and they're like, what?
That would be even worse, especially because your product manager and your course development designer is the guy running the team and has to. There's no way he didn't sign off on it.
No, right, exactly.
There's no way.
There's no way. Yeah.
So
I mean, what do you think that conversation's like? You know, who brought that up? Who went to who? Do you think House of Discs went to them, or did they go to Eric and be like, you have to tell him this because something's not right here? I'm wondering if they were promised something. Like the students, you know, the program was promised they'd have this or that or another thing, and then all of a sudden DD or House of Discs couldn't back up their promise.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, like, well, we're the team's deciding that you guys couldn't fulfill that, so we're going somewhere else.
Yep. I bet you it is probably a bit of a mixture of everything.
Yeah.
And ultimately, I think it just stems to that this doesn't fit the budget.
Yeah.
We have been just canning people left and right. We've been cutting the budget where we can. I mean, we're down to like 2 or 3 people pulling for the warehouse for not only Amazon and, you know, like when I walked through there were probably 50 people, you know, in there working and doing their thing. Like, and it sounds like they've gotten rid of about half, you know? So it's probably a numbers game. They're just saying like, where's the fat and how can we trim it? And Emporia State University is not doing anything for us.
Sure.
There's no return there. So that sucks.
That
sucks for them.
Well, 'cause you're taking away student athletes who perhaps, if you had continued a relationship, would have kind of grown with the brand and can maybe continue to throw their stuff, but that's not going to happen anymore.
No, it's not.
And Emporia native, I think it's his name, Isaiah Esquivel. He was a DD sponsored player.
He was a young kid, and then
and I think he went on to go play at to be a sponsored disc golf athlete at Emporia State. So he was already DD sponsored. And I'm curious. I don't know if he graduated or how old he is anymore, but I'm curious if he'd be like, "Well, I can't throw Innova, like I'm still DD sponsored or whatever his situation is." I don't know.
Well, I wonder, because I think their whole family, I think him, his brother, and his dad, if I remember rightly, were all sponsored.
I think so.
And I wonder if that's, I wonder if they're even still sponsored. Because I know that their team went drastically down in numbers.
Yeah.
I haven't been on to look recently, but I know they went down way in numbers. I mean, they went down, they started doing it back in like 19. They started to kind of trim their numbers a little bit. But I think they were just focusing, trying to bring big names in.
Yeah.
And then they just had that kerfuffle around the Paige Pierce time where something went wrong. Someone went south right about then.
And then, because it was like
people just started departing.
Verbal contract situation with her. And she's like, nope, I'm taking off.
Yep. And once that happened, it seemed like everybody just started to kind of leave.
Yeah.
There was some sort of bad blood there somewhere where people just started to kind of exit. Players started to exit that team, and they couldn't seem to lock down any big names. And then they helicoptered in, the 2 probably biggest mistakes they've made. And that's that, from there. So, but that was a House of Disc era when they did that. No, or was that a Rusco era?
What's that?
When DD brought in Kona and Ricky. Because that was 2020. No, 21.
Yeah.
Was that Rusco era or was that House of Disc era?
I feel like it was still Rusco era.
Okay.
I think that was right before House of Discs.
I think it might have been, or maybe it was in the process and they were already doing it.
That could very well be.
Yeah.
Because we had talked about that a little bit, like the whole House of Discs thing. Because like we did kind of like a deep dive on it a little bit because they had just bought in with Latitude, and they're like, well, what's going to happen with
DD and West Side. And
and then
we talked about the Walmart to disc golf and
all that.
Yeah, I remember. And honestly, we'd have to go back and listen, but I think we had this exact discussion that this is what's going to happen because investment groups are about the money.
Yeah.
And plain and simple, that's what they're going to look at, the bottom line. And they're going to start kind of bastardizing, But we also kind of saw the good side of it is that there's going to be more money to do more things and create more things. And that's what's happened as well. But, man, at what cost? At what cost? I'd be interested. I think I might go back and listen to that one and see what we said.
Yeah.
Because, that's like 2 or 3 years ago now. Or 2 years. It can't be more than 3.
Yeah, at least 2.
2, yeah. I think it was 2 years ago we talked about that.
So interesting. Yeah. Go back and find it.
It'd be funny if we're just like pull some clips off of it and be like, we're Nostradamus.
Yeah.
All right.
Man.
I don't know if I have anything else.
Shoot, I was thinking of something else, but I don't remember.
Oh.
Ricky. Okay.
Is he still DD for today?
Now. He announced the other day he's having a auction on, I think it's called Whatnot.
Okay, yeah.
There's an app. Like a lot of people go on there to like do card pulls and things. But yeah, he said he's going to have a kind of like a garage sale auction situation going on. Selling some stuff off.
Of discs?
Yeah.
A lot?
He had his garage open. There's a table in there. There's boxes of discs. There's trophies.
He's going to sell some trophies too.
I don't know, maybe. But Wednesday, I think he said. Wednesday, I think this coming Wednesday, he's going to be
I feel like Bitcoin's doing pretty well. It's like up at 106 or something again.
Yeah,
so.
it fell a little bit today, I think.
Oh, did?
The
Okay.
past couple of days. But it's doing well. Yeah.
Okay.
I think there's an X or some account that follows Ricky's Bitcoin and like posts like every so often like how much it's worth at the time.
That's funny.
Yeah.
He had to have sold it by now.
I think he said he's still holding it.
Really?
Yeah.
Good for him.
It's up to like, it's worth like 600,000 or something like that.
Jeez. And it was what, 250 is what he took?
Yeah, 250 at the time was how much he's worth. So that was probably like 5 or 5.5 coins or something like that. Whatever.
That's great, man.
Yeah.
Good for him. Good for him. Wow. All right. So Ricky, look on the Whatnot app and look up the Richard Wysocki Whatnot app.
Yeah.
Maybe he's just a guy that doesn't like to collect things. And he's just
that could be. He's like, well, especially if you have like if you're using your house as an Airbnb in the off season.
Oh, true.
And you have people, staying at your house. Like, when we're gonna put all this stuff and it's just sitting in the garage. You don't want people like really going through all your stuff or anything.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Or he's leaving. DD. So, have you heard of anything on this list that we talked about that is turning the disc golf world upside down?
No.
Okay.
Not that I'm aware of. Nothing's flipping.
Well, I'm still waiting, Mr. Gibson.
Still waiting.
I think there's some really cool stuff that's happening, but wait, you just heard it. Ooh.
Oh, no. So, sorry. New Zealand Open just finished up down under. Yeah. So the men's final actually just ended, and Jeremy Cole. Wait, or did it?
Oh, or wait.
Okay, at this point, Jeremy Colling and Ezra Robinson are tied at 18 down.
Ooh.
And I don't know if that's actually the final. Let's just take a look.
Oh, it can't be. One of them has to win.
Exactly. That's
per PDG
rules. Yeah. So I was just curious because it doesn't say anything about playoff scoring yet.
Ooh.
But it says they're currently both tied for first at 18 down. So I'm guessing it hasn't gone to the playoff yet. So that's just spoiler.
Very cool.
And then FPO. Holland Hanley ended up winning.
Hey,
3 down. Beat Emily Weatherman, Sophia Doneke. Those are top 3. And then Juliana Corver and Disc Tay in 5th. And then there's Taylor.
Oh, Disc Tay. Okay.
Yeah.
So like the Instagram handle is Disc Tay or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yep.
All right. Cool, man. Good for Holland Handley. Way to kick it into gear right away.
Yeah, I feel like she just got down there.
Well, it worked.
Yeah.
Whatever she did, she did the right thing. So good for her. Man, see, she's going to be a killer this year. I don't see why she won't be in the rankings, like at the top of the rankings this year.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I don't see it. I mean, she has such a solid game, and the little weaknesses that she has, she's drilling them. You know darn well she's drilling them. Like, because she's up in like the foothills of Montana on a ranch or something like that with her own course. And
she, her boyfriend's parents, I believe, have a ranch in Oklahoma. That's where it is. And so she went out, designed her own course, and it's basically a course to, I think, like,
she like mimics holes, right?
Something like that. So it's like holes to help her like work on her weaknesses and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I know she said she was trying to work on her forehand a little more.
Yeah.
From what I had heard.
How freaking cool is that?
Yeah. Like, here's my off season. I'm gonna go work on this course that I can do myself and go play every day and then hit the weights and
they have a gym on property and all that stuff. So good for her. I'm excited to see it. So hopefully Coling pulls it down. I mean, I'm rooting for Coling, like first tournament with MVP and takes it down. Like, that would be freaking awesome.
That would be awesome.
So yeah, I'll root for him. All right. Any sting else? No.
Here's a question for you because we haven't have we done a random question?
No, not in a long time. All right, let's hear it.
What is a song that always gets you, if you're down, whatever the mood is, you're like, you always have to play it? Or
is it like a hype song, or is
kind
it
of like a song that just like always like, you're like, whenever it's on, it's like, if you're down and like, it just makes you feel good.
Okay. Let me put myself in that situation.
You're like, sad shade.
Yes. All right, ready, go. All right, so there are two songs that I like. There's the one that if like I'm just in like a meh mood and I'm about to go talk with people, and not talk with people, just be around people, but Sweet Home Alabama has always done it for me. I don't know why. And I think it's because in college, that was like take off your hat song. Like, you got to respect, pay homage. None of us are from Alabama. But for some reason, it was just, that's something we did. We respected the song. So that's a fun one. And if I just want to like bring myself up, it's Picture by Kid Rock and Sheryl Crow.
Okay.
Without a doubt.
I haven't listened to that song in a long time.
Oh, that's a sing-along song right there.
Okay.
So there you go. Those are my two.
Right on.
All right. What's yours?
One of them is Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears for Fears.
Good one. Okay.
Yep. Whenever that song's on, I'm like,
I would have never known who that was by.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. And then the other one is Get Lucky by Daft Punk.
Get Lucky by Daft Punk. I know Daft Punk. Get Lucky. I'm sure I know it.
Oh, yeah. I'd play it, but I don't think we can do that.
Yeah, it's a whole copyright thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
I will play it for you after.
Yeah. Okay. So what's your get hype song? Let's say you're going into a competition, like when you were younger, like getting into a competition.
Man, that's a tough one.
It is.
Probably like Bulls on Parade by Rage Against the Machine.
Oh, that's a good one. Oh, I haven't heard that one in a long time. Okay.
Yeah. No, that song's, Or like Bring the Noise by Public Enemy and Anthrax.
Oh, that's a good one. Oh. Why are we not making songs like that anymore, by the way?
Oh, I don't know.
That would be amazing. Okay.
It's kind of on the same plane as like Aerosmith Run DMC. Like that kind of like rap rock.
Rock
like,
This Way.
Yeah, Walk This Way.
Yeah. Let's see. So I was always like a Power Man 5000, Five Finger Death Punch, like that type of stuff was like in my realm. But I think, what's the one? It's by, I can think of it. It's Going the Distance.
Oh, Cake.
Cake, yes. Is that what's called Going the Distance?
The Distance.
The Distance, that's it. Yeah. So that's one.
Okay.
I always like that one for some reason. I don't know why it's a hype song for me, but it is.
I like them as a band. I think they're kind of quirky and funny, but they're decent.
Yep. And then there is a Disturbed, obviously the Disturbed song,
Yeah. I can't think of it. I don't know what you're talking about.
not Insomnia. The ooh,
Yes. Yeah.
whatever that is.
Yeah.
The monkey sound. Yeah, that one.
Yeah. Down with the sickness.
That's what it is. Yep. But those are the ones. I'm horrible with song names, but I love, like, today I was sitting in the car and Five Finger Death Punch came on.
Yeah.
Because I was playing like my music that's on my phone.
Okay.
And then Five Finger Death Punch came on, and I'm just like jamming to it. My daughter's like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Dude, this song is awesome."
Yeah.
And she's like, "What is it?" I was like, "I don't know." And I had to like look at my phone. Like, I know it's Five Finger Death Punch, but that's all I know. And there's a couple others, like Day of Rain is another, like, it's kind of a, I don't even know if they still exist. I think they were like a one album band, but it was like kind of a conglomerate of a bunch of different ones.
Oh.
But they did this random like semi-Christian album, kind of like a POD style album, like not Christian,
I know what you're
but
saying.
kind of inspiring, like rock. And that one's awesome too. Man, there's like Breaking Benjamin, which was always one of my favorites. Like, but I don't know. Like, I don't know. I'm a huge rock guy, but then you put like Eminem or NF or like, love all those guys. I just named 2 white rappers.
You're right. Love all those white rappers.
Yeah, love all those guys. So I don't know.
It was funny today because I took Dempsey to club soccer practice this morning, and I put something on the radio, and then here he is in the car. Boop. Puts his AirPods in, and he's like jamming out to whatever he's jamming out to. And I was like, I tried to talk to him. I kind of like peeked my head back. I was like, oh, you're listening to something completely different.
Yeah, like you don't know what style is.
Well, no, like he will listen to stuff I normally like will put on, but I think someone gave him a like free month or something at Spotify. I'm like, well, I already have for Spotify Premium or whatever. I'm like, okay, use it up, whatever. I'm like, I already used something different.
Yeah. Well, that's like I've noticed that both of my kids, like, their get hype songs are so mellow. Like, it's the weirdest thing. Like, they're like
mellow hype songs.
They're like, we're gonna listen to Forrest Frank, and I'm like, seriously, Forrest Frank? Like,
what's that?
He's a singer.
Okay,
it's like more R&B ish. Like,
oh, okay,
like very like melodic. You know,
got it.
And I'm just like, no, you need some like hard hitting, like just makes you angry. You want to punch something, and they're like, yeah, Forrest Frank. And I'm like, no, that's not it. Like, I don't know. It's funny. So
you're telling me you're gonna bust through a wall to this?
Yeah, like, exactly. Like, So Mufasa, the movie Mufasa. Sorry. So just like hit the brakes and turned.
Sure. Yeah.
And we watched the movie Mufasa.
You watched it?
Yeah. Well, not just me. Like, I
Did
took
you
a
go
child
to the theater
with
to
me.
see this?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I took my son.
It's like a prequel, right?
Yeah. So it's like the story of Mufasa, how Mufasa became Mufasa.
Okay.
Dude, it's really good.
Oh, really?
It's really good. So I didn't watch the live action Lion King because they have like 2 of them, right? Or just one?
Just one. Okay. I mean, Mufasa is the second.
The second, okay.
Yeah.
So I didn't watch the live action Lion King because I was like, no, Lion King shouldn't be messed with, you know, like, cause they're doing everything live action.
They're making a
Lilo and Stitch.
And then DreamWorks is making a live action How to Train Your Dragon.
Yes, I saw that too, which I'm still going to watch it, but I'm not happy about it.
Yeah, I know. I was like, really? Like, they just made the last one a couple of years ago. Like, now they're going to make a live action. Okay, whatever. I mean,
well, the Lilo and Stitch, I'm like, seriously? They're already making the Moana live action. I'm just like, okay, seriously, guys.
I know.
Like, do we really need to do this? But, I mean, I'll still watch them, but I don't just want to complain about it. But yeah, so Mufasa, it was really good.
Okay.
Like, really, really good. So my mom went with us as well. Like, my mom was like kind of staring at us as we were talking about going, and she raises her hand. So, do you want to go? And she's like, yeah. I was like, well, come on, get in the car. So yeah, we went, and it was like, I know we haven't talked about movies in a while either, but it was really, really good. Like, I went there like just saying, like, all right, I'm just gonna go watch it because my kid wants to watch it, you know. And I ended up being like, shut up, don't talk to me. You know, like I want to watch this.
Enthralled.
Yeah, like Mufasa. And then like you talk about like you find the origin of Scar, like you get
That's what I was
Scar's
just gonna ask
origin
you.
story,
Yes.
which is really cool.
Okay.
And then you get like kind of Mufasa's origin story as well. Well, of course, because it is about Mufasa. And then you get to see a little bit of like Simba and Nala and their whole deal. And then what's their daughter's name? It's like Kira, Kiada, Kada, Kanina.
I don't even know.
But then you get to kind of see a little bit of how she becomes, and you get to see what's the monkey's name?
Rafiki?
Rafiki's origin story too.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Okay.
it's pretty cool.
I might
It's
just
really
wait
good.
for that to hit Disney Plus.
It's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
But it was still really good. Like I don't know, the theater's not going to bring anything new to it. Like it's not.
Yeah.
It doesn't help the movie.
Okay.
But it was really good. So if you want especially a good movie for kids too.
Yeah, sure.
Because there's a lot of death in it, but it's like you don't see the death. You know,
Oh, okay.
Like just
it's really good for kids, but there's a lot of
well, they kind of yeah.
All
yeah.
right.
There's singing and stuff, which is cool, but like they imply the death without showing the death.
Oh, got it. Yeah.
Like in the old Lion Kings, you would see the fights and stuff like
Yeah.
that. There's one fight you see, but it's not like. Well, I guess that's the only one that you see where the thing dies. But yeah, so that's it. Have you watched anything recently?
Movie wise, I'm thinking about getting. Okay, so I might get just a like week trial of Paramount Plus so I can watch Gladiator 2
Oh, I know.
because it's out on that now. Movie wise, I haven't watched any movies. I finished watching the Netflix series Dark.
I haven't.
Ooh, it might be. It's good.
What's it about?
Time travel and like different like universes, kind of like it's
Okay.
interesting.
Like multiverse-ish.
A little bit, yeah. Oh,
Okay.
It's good. It's up there. And then I'm watching The Witcher.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, I just started that because I was looking for
You've
something
never
else.
watched it before?
No, I hadn't. So I know. So I just got through episode 3. Like I was just looking for something. I was like,
Yeah.
well, when am I going to start? So yeah, I just decided to do that.
It's so strange how it starts off so hard with that first like monster in the
Yeah,
swamp.
right.
Like it starts off hard, and then it's like, what happened? Like
Kind of, a
it kind
little
of does
bit.
that. Like all of a sudden it just backs up.
Like episode 2, I was like, I want more monster fight.
It's exactly how I felt.
I was like, dang it, yeah, like Geralt, like in this, like
Yeah.
the spider thing, and
Yeah.
and everything. And then episode 2, you kind of like, I mean, I get it. They're introducing new characters,
Yeah,
kind of moving
yeah.
through stuff, like the princess thing, and all that. And the episode 3 was like the pig farming girl. So I mean, yeah. So they're moving through. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of slow so far, but I'm kind of hoping things.
Yeah, well, and they kind of get into some of the Witcher, like there's other Witchers out there too,
Right,
and
yeah.
stuff like that. So they start getting into some pretty cool stuff. But yeah, it's a good one, and I was excited they had a new one come out. But it's almost like I don't know what happened, but they just like everything just stopped and slowed down, and like then they took so long to let out the next ones,
Well,
and I
well,
just kind of lose interest.
What happened was Henry Cavill decided to not keep going, so they brought in that what's his name, Hemsworth.
Oh yeah.
They changed the actor, and like people are really
like Chris
ticked off.
Hemsworth,
It's his brother.
Yeah,
Liam.
Yeah.
So he took over as Geralt.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if people were thrilled about that or not. So I think that slowed production or like
Yeah.
filming down because they had to replace Cavill at the time.
You know, it's funny because I didn't even realize that. And now that you say that, I'm like, yeah, that's absolutely the truth. Henry Cavill isn't not.
Yeah. He's only in the first 2 seasons.
Yeah. So the third season, 3 and 4, or just 3?
I don't know.
I think there's just 3.
There could be just 3.
Yeah. So that third season, it took so long to come out that I didn't even realize. But I just kind of lost interest because it was that story was flowing so well, and
Okay.
all of a sudden it just kind of like pittered. You know, and I was like, what happened? So
Interesting.
I don't know. I get that a lot with it because I mean, there's no like I'm a huge anime fan, but that happens a lot in anime.
Oh, sure.
Well, they'll do 1 or 2 seasons, and all of a sudden they just disappear.
Well, the thing about anime I always wondered was they always, like you said, they do like 1 or 2 seasons and then they split off and it's like, here's whatever this season of like, but it's like the same characters, but it's like a completely kind of like
different storyline.
Yeah,
yeah.
that kind of thing.
Yeah, no, it's hard sometimes because I get really vested into something like, and I'm just like, dude, this is so great. Like Demon Slayer.
Oh yeah,
Like it's really good, but man, like, why are we doing all these arcs? Like,
Sure.
Can't we just stay on? Like, I mean, it's kind of online, but not really.
yeah.
you know.
What's this? Oh, there's something fairly new out on Netflix. Arcane. Have you seen that?
I haven't started watching that one yet.
Okay, I haven't either, but people say that's pretty decent.
Oh,
as
good.
far as, but it's based off of the game. Was it League of Legends?
Oh, really? Okay.
I think. Yeah,
But that's like a mobile game, right? League of Legends?
PC game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't have any
I
experience.
think that's.
with it.
Yeah, I don't know much about it.
Yeah.
I've someone I knew played it, but I think that's what it's based off of.
Okay.
A character in that game or something.
I could see, I mean, a lot of these games, there's a lot of good games. Like Warcraft had one. They had that movie, which I thought it was really, really good.
Yeah.
And they just like, they pittered that one too. Like it was a really
There's
good
been a
movie.
new
and-
Warcraft game in so long.
I know.
Really?
And there's some really good characters in those Warcraft games too. And it's just like, and they made the two original characters is where they based it off of. And it just pittered. Like they kind of got through the first battle and
Yeah.
that was it. And it stopped. And I was like, man, there's so much more to go. But I don't know.
Fallout was good. If you saw that
I didn't. I do want to see that.
Fallout's
though.
good.
Okay. I got to watch Fallout then.
Yeah.
Okay.
on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I have it. It's funny. I barely get on Amazon anymore, but they
do-
have some
yeah,
good.
Same.
They have some good seasons. But Apple does some really good stuff too. But like Ted Lasso's done, and like all the good ones that I was watching are.
I heard
done.
Ted Lasso might come back.
How?
I don't know, but I heard that it's possible.
That's right. Did I hear that he was going to Mexico or something like that? Like he was
Maybe.
going to start coaching a team in Mexico, or
I don't know if that's true or not, but
Okay.
it could be.
Yeah,
I haven't
'cause-
really watched it. I should.
okay. It's
But-
actually really good. I think you would like it too because
I would.
there are some like actual soccer people in it too, like real soccer people. So it's funny. Is Danny Trejo?
Trejo? Yeah.
Is he like a real soccer player?
Danny Trejo?
Yeah.
No, but he was a real like gangster. Like
Oh, then it's not the guy.
Danny Trejo?
No, like I forgot what his name
Like,
is.
are you
in the
thinking of
movie.
like Machete?
No, I knew that. I know
Oh,
him.
okay.
I've met him in person. Which
Oh,
is
really?
Cool. Yeah. So where I'm from in Blythe, California, I don't know why, but he has some sort of connection in Blythe.
Okay.
So we would see him every once in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's actually a really awesome guy. He's a really cool guy.
I think prison mellowed him out.
It might have, but he's a real
Maybe.
cool
I
guy.
mean, like he's still like gruff and like.
Oh, for sure.
But like, yeah, I could.
But he's one of those guys, like, he's super genuine. Like, when you talk to him, he's just super kind, super, like, he's like true, genuine dude. Like, he's good.
Right on.
I mean, I met him way late in his life, but, well, he's still alive. But
Is this a Ted Lasso guy you're talking about?
yeah, he's
I mean, like that
he's
you're
an
talking about the
actor
other
in
guy.
Ted Lasso. Yeah, it's Danny. I forgot what his name is. But I don't know. I've just seen him in a couple commercials, and I was like, huh.
Oh, got
wonder
it.
if he's actually really a soccer player. Because I don't know soccer. So
Yeah.
And you know, there's one guy named Zoltan.
Zlatan?
Yeah, I think maybe that's
He's
who it
for
is.
real, yeah.
Yeah. Because they bring him in as like a kind of a hardcore, like,
Okay.
save our season type guy. It's really kind of
Oh,
cool.
all right.
So, all right. Well, will we have anything to leave them on? Like any inspirational words like the ones we forgot about to write today?
I really want to know what that quote was.
It was a really good quote.
Oh, it was so
It
good.
was a really good quote.
Dang it.
It was something like, if you see hair in your sandwich, don't eat it, or something like that.
Something close to that.
But it was so much more like prophetic.
Oh, it really was. It so was.
All right. Well, we'll leave you on that one. If you see hair in your sandwich, don't eat it.
Yep.
Unless that's what you like. We won't king shame here.
Nope.
With that being said, deuces in the toilet.